She was once a beautiful and kind-hearted angel girl, but now she has become a pile of white bones lying at the bottom of the lake. And what's even more heartbreaking is that she had been submerged for 41 years. But fortunately, on this day, she was accidentally discovered by a man who was treasure hunting. Soon, this explosive news, along with the man, made the news. But compared to the media's excitement, what was left for CSI was an extremely heartbreaking truth. Looking at the palm-sized skull in his hand, Robbie knew that this was definitely a poor child. The broken bones were taken out bit by bit, followed by a pair of white princess shoes stained with mud, small gloves, 2 hairpins, and a pink sweater, all indicating that this was a lovely little girl. Afterwards, Ellie discovered that in the barrel, there was also a well-preserved banknote sealed in a plastic bag. Unexpectedly, the publication date of this banknote was actually 1982. This also meant that the poor girl had been sinking in this lake water for a full 41 years. Whose child was she? And who did this inhumane thing? In order to find out the girl's identity, Robbie specially invited the anthropology expert Heather to help. The expert only took a glance at the pelvis that had just begun to develop and determined that this was a girl. In addition, from the unfused base suture of the skull, it could be judged that the girl was about 8 to 10 years old. But don't think that the expert only has this little skill. Just give her a quiet environment, and the magic will start immediately. First, make good marks on the key parts of the skull, then draw the basic outline of the face according to the marks. Afterwards, fill the skull according to the portrait. As the clay was pasted bit by bit and then modified again, the girl's appearance was gradually restored. I think the meaning of our lifelong efforts to learn a skill, perhaps at this moment, has a concrete manifestation.
There she is. We have your face. All we need is your name.
Subsequently, there was also new progress on the dumping barrel side. Greg suddenly discovered that a blue substance on the edge of the barrel was particularly eye-catching. He immediately collected it and prepared to send it for trace inspection. But also, at this time, Fernando found an abnormality in the scraped area. It seemed that there were letters printed on the barrel. He hurriedly sprayed water and scraped off all the mud on it. Sure enough, a major clue was revealed. This turned out to be a special barrel of a salt mining company. Immediately afterwards, Fernando and Selena rushed to this salt mining company that had not yet gone bankrupt to look for clues. According to the boss, this kind of cold-rolled steel salt barrel was indeed used in their company in the early 1980s. But considering weather and oxidation problems, they later switched to plastic barrels. Although the sinking barrel used at the crime scene was produced by their company, due to extensive transportation, it was not possible to determine where it came from. To be on the safe side, Selena still asked the management for a list of employees of the company in the 1980s. Unexpectedly, this list did come in handy later. At this time, the autopsy work was also progressing steadily. Preliminary judgment was that the girl's height was about 130 centimeters. From the broken finger bone of her right hand and the perforation on the right shoulder bone, it could be judged that the killer most likely only fired 1 shot, and it was a close-range shooting. The bullet quickly penetrated through the palm, then pierced through the right shoulder, causing death, and this speculation was also confirmed on the girl's belongings. There was a hole in the girl's right glove. This indicated that the girl did use her hand for defense at that time. In addition, with her rich social experience, Penny believed that the girl must have gone to Sunday church before her death, because she was wearing a uniform with the Sunday school logo. Unexpectedly, Penny's guess really helped a lot in finding the girl. At this moment, her 3D model missing person notice had already been distributed to various churches. Who would have thought that after everyone had discarded it, an old hand reached in? Immediately afterwards, an old woman with gray hair and a faltering gait walked into the CSI building.